Well, Moira Farming's been around for about 96 years, so just after the First World War, my great-grandfather, George, bought the land at Forest Hill and they started cultivating. Growing onions and seed onions, some lucerne, hay, grain, just the things they used to do. So it went from great-grandpa to grandpa, and then dad and grandpa transitioned into the business. So dad's probably been there for 20, 30 years, I'd say, now. And now me and my dad are transitioning as well. Certainly, you know, when you're really little, you're small enough to sleep on the floor of the cab tractor of an evening and the vibrations would put you to sleep, or learning how to drive tractors at a young age, safely obviously. But then also just after school, helping out on the farm, I really enjoyed doing that. My parents were really good. They didn't have any pressure on coming back to the farm. I think they knew I loved it, but they always said to me, well, Mitch, you could be a doctor if you really wanted, but I wasn't smart enough, so I did enjoy it, that's for sure. The tractors, the crops, you know, you've got some nice views every day of the week, and also the challenge of it all and working with the people, that was certainly attractive for me. So my grandfather, Alan, he started his business with Vanderfield when they first started, and that was through the Toowoomba branch, and they were actually sourcing cotton picker parts for the business when Papa used to grow cotton at Forest Hill. So that was their first dealings with Vanderfield, was cotton picker parts. Obviously, the product, the John Deere product and the Vanderfield after sales service and support, well, it's followed through the generations, you could say. From the start, my grandfather obviously chose that dealership to source his products from, and you could say we've been happy with that service ever since. Right through till now, we're still buying and sourcing the services of Vanderfield and the John Deere product today, so it's obviously a good product. When my grandpa Alan just had to choose which brand of tractor his first tractor was going to be, he had the opportunity between an off-branded tractor and a John Deere, and he didn't have any bias. He could have chosen either, and he had a bad run-in with the salesman of the other brand, and that's what led him to he thought, well, I'll give the green one a crack, and he did, and he's been satisfied. So in our business, we're trying to create a system that can be replicated. So if we ever expand, we want to have the same tractors, because our operators, they need to have consistency and repetition. They need the same tractors doing the same job, so they could go to any farm and they have a 6000 series for this job, a 5000 for that, and an 8 for that. So we're trying to suit a model, find a model and adapt to it, so that the bigger tractors do the heavy work, the smaller tractors do the lighter work, and our system flows well. And that's not just for operator ease and safety, but also for our cropping system. Our plants need that uniformity, that repetition, the consistency. With the vegetable business, we can't really do our zero till and minimum till. It is a tilled system, so we are doing deep ripping, power harrowing, rotary hoeing, and then with the heavier tractors, then the medium-sized tractors are doing the planting, the cultivating, the spreading, the spraying, and then the little tractors are the harvesting or the loading and logistics. So that's what those tractors are doing. We're satisfied. Like, we got one farm here, it's an hour away from our nearest dealer, and I know if we had an emergency or an urgent breakdown, well, they would be here within an hour or 10. Like, I know they can do it, and they will. No, they're good. And then every Wednesday, they've got a delivery service, so I always know if we need 20 litres of whatever, we can get it on a Wednesday. Vanderfield were there when my grandfather started the business, and they've evolved with our company through the generations. They're here now, and I'm sure they'll be here to grow with the business for the 5th generation. Yeah, in our vegetable business, there's a lot happening often. Today there's 12 people, but we can get up to 100 people sometimes, and you never really stop to smell the roses or look at your crop, and you don't have that appreciation for the honour and the privilege that it is to actually be operating as a 4th generation farmer. But when you do stop and think about it, you do realise it is an honour to be farming our family farm, and it's a privilege for sure.